Very good morning, guys. Today we are going to discuss problems on the total taxable income and tax liability. So, what do you mean by the total taxable income? In simple, the income which is going to be earned from the five major head of the incomes, that is income from salary, income from house property, income from capital gains, profit and gain from business or profession, income from other sources. The combination of all these incomes will be considered as the gross total income. And from the gross total income, whatever the deductions they are eligible to get under section 80C to 80U, including everything, that is 80C, 80D for the medical insurance premiums, and 80G for the donations, and some more things. So whatever the deductions they are going to get, those deductions are going to be deducted from the gross total income, and the result will be considered as the total taxable income, or the net income being taxable. On that taxable income, we have to calculate what is the actual tax liability that the person has to pay at the end of the financial year on the income earned by him. Let us go with one problem on this one. So hope that you can understand the theoretical concept. Okay, so here comes a simple problem. This is the question paper problem again. This question is appeared in April-May 2018 question paper. Here we have to calculate the tax liability of Mr. Mohan for the assessment year 2019-20. So here comes the problem. So here they have provided the incomes and the deductions which may be applicable from the head number 1 up to the income from head number 5, that is from salary to other sources, from 80C to 80U. Okay, the first one, that is income from house property, they have computed already, that is rupees 80,000. Second one, interest on government securities, which comes under the income from other sources, which is having the income of 10,000 rupees. Next, the long-term capital gains of rupees 50,000, it comes under capital gain. Income from business, which comes under profit and gain from business or profession, which is having the highest income from all other head of incomes, that is 10,55,000. And next one, amount withdrawn from public provident fund, which is eligible for deduction under section 80C of rupees 50,000. Purchased national savings certificate 8th issue, which is eligible for deduction under section 80C with 30,000 rupees. Amount deposited in public provident fund, it is also eligible for deduction under section 80C. And subscription to eligible issue of capital, it is also eligible for deduction under section 80C. So every deductions is in respect of section 80C only. Okay, the question is concentrated towards the deduction under section 80C only. At last, the tax deducted at source for the previous year 2018-19 is rupees 1,50,000. Mr. Mohan has already made the TDS for the previous year 2018-19 is rupees 1,50,000. By keeping all these things into our mind, we have to calculate the what might be the total taxable income for the assessment year 2019-20. So here we go with. So as usual, we have to provide the heading of computation of total taxable income. First, we have to calculate the total taxable income, and there onwards we are going to calculate the net tax liability. Okay, so provide the basic details of a person, that is the name of the assessee is Mr. Mohan, his residential status is ordinary resident, and we are calculating the tax liability for the assessment year of 2019-20 for the previous year 2018-19. So here comes the five major head of the incomes with the deduction under section 80C to 80U. Okay, so here the income from salary, that is nil. So even though they have not provided the income from salary, we have to put here just for the clarification. Okay, second one, that is income from house property, they have already computed rupees 80,000 as they have provided in the table, so we are going to consider it here. Next one, profit and gain from business or profession. Under that, Mr. Mohan is having income from business of rupees 10,55,000. Next, head number 4, that is income head number 4, income from capital gain. Under that, he is having income from long term capital gains of rupees 50,000. Next one, income from other sources. Under this other sources, there is one less tax government security, that is interest on government securities, which is having the interest income of 10,000 rupees. The combination of all these 5 major head of the income, starting from the salary up to income from other sources, we are going to get the gross total income of rupees 11,95,000, and we are going to name it as point number E. Okay, so this is how we have to calculate the gross total income. Next stage is we have to provide the deduction under section 80C to 80U, where in this problem the question is concentrated towards the deduction under section 80C only. The first one, the amount which is withdrawn from the PPF, that is rupees 50,000, and next one, purchased national saving certificate 8th issue of rupees 30,000, and next one, the amount deposited in public provident fund 60,000, and next one, subscription to eligible issue of capital, that is rupees 35,000. Okay, so here the point is that maximum eligible deduction under section 80C is rupees 1,50,000, or whatever the amount invested under section 80C, whichever is less. Okay, but here Mr. Mohan has invested rupees 1,75,000 under section 80C. Okay, but the maximum deduction available as per IT rules is rupees 1,50,000. So we are going to consider a maximum deduction of 1,50,000 only. Okay, so after this one, we will move on for the next slide for the rest of the computation of the total taxable income or the net income. So here comes a total taxable income by considering the deductions, that is, as we have computed earlier, the total deduction under section 80C to 80U is rupees 1,50,000. Why? Because the problem is mainly concentrated towards the deduction under section 80C. Okay, so therefore the total taxable income, that is point number A minus point number B, that comes to rupees 10,45,000. So let us know the process of the calculating the total tax liability. Okay, so here comes the first slab, that is for the long term capital gain. Remember one thing, for the capital gain we are going to consider a separate tax computation rate. On that rate we have to calculate the tax liability, and here we are having the long term capital gain of rupees 50,000, on which for the long term capital gain 20% is the tax rate, and therefore 50,000 multiplied with the 20% tax rate, the tax liability will comes in the form of 10,000 rupees, and we are going to name it as point number A. Okay, and the next table says, that is, so then out of 10,45,000 what we have computed as a total taxable income, out of this 10,45,000 we have charged, or we have imposed 20% tax rate on 50,000 rupees in the form of long term capital gain. Therefore we have to deduct from 10,45,000 minus 50,000, and only the rest of 9,95,000 is going to be chargeable to tax under the individual or HUF tax slab. Okay, so the tax slab for the financial year or for the previous year 2018-19 is up to rupees 2,50,000, the tax rate is nil. From 2,50,000 1 rupees to 5 lakh for a maximum of 2,50,000 5%. From 5 lakh 1 rupee to 10 lakh rupees 20%. Okay, so in this problem, if the income is above 10 lakh, then we have to charge 30%. We will look into the amount which comes under the different slab rates. Okay, so as we are having the rest of 9,95,000 as the total taxable income, that is 10,45,000 minus 50,000 on which we have already charged the tax. So up to 2,50,000 there is no tax rate, therefore 9,95,000 minus 2,50,000 we are going to get the rest of 7,45,000, which we can go for the next slab. Okay, so as usual there is no tax rate and the tax liability will be considered as 0 or nil. Okay, so let me tell you one more time, that is we are having a total taxable income of 10,45,000 minus 50,000. Why? Because we have charged the tax of 20% on the 50,000. Okay, 10,45,000 minus 50,000, we have to consider only the balance of 9,95,000 for the slab of the individuals. Okay, so 9,95,000, on this 9,95,000 rupees 2,50,000 doesn't have any kind of the tax rate as per the tax slab. Therefore 9,95,000 minus 2,50,000 is equals to 7,45,000. The balanced amount has been remained. Okay, the second slab, that is from 2,50,000 1 rupee to 5 lakh, we are having the tax rate of 5%, that is for a maximum of 2,50,000. so maximum of 2,50,000 means the difference between these two amounts will be considered as the maximum permissible amount on this tax rate of 5%, that is from 2,50,000 1 rupees to 5 lakh, the difference is only 2,50,000 and we can charge only 5% on a maximum of 2,50,000 even we are having the higher taxable income. Okay, so therefore 2,50,000 multiplied by 5% tax rate, that comes to rupees 12,500 at the last column. Okay, so out of 7,45,000 we have to deduct 2,50,000, that comes to rupees, that is rupees 4,95,000 will be remained for the next slab, that is 7,95,000 minus 2,50,000, that is we have charged 5% on the maximum of 2,50,000. Therefore the balance amount for the next slab is 4,95,000 and on this 5% tax slab rate we are going to get the tax liability of 12,500. Okay, the next slab is 5 lakh 1 rupees to 10 lakh. If the income remains from the slab number 2 to slab number 3, that is carry forwarded, then we have to charge 20% tax on the amount maximum of 5 lakh rupees only. Here that maximum difference is from 5 lakh 1 rupees to 10 lakh, that is rupees 5 lakh. Okay, so we are having the total balance taxable income of 4,95,000 on which we can charge a full 20% tax rate. Therefore 4,95,000 with the 20% tax rate, that comes to rupees 99,000 is the tax liability on tax slab number 3. Therefore finally, so we have taxed the whole amount of rupees 9,95,000 plus 50,000. We are going to get the tax liability, we are going to name it as point number B, that is rupees 1,11,500. So this is, we can assume it as the gross tax liability also. Okay, so next one, that is the calculation of the net tax liability or the refund. So here tax on the total income, that is tax liability A, that is 10,000 plus point number B, that comes to rupees 1,21,500. As per the long term capital gain taxability we got 10,000. Okay, as per the slab for the rest of 9,95,000 we got 1,11,500 as the tax liability. The combination of both of these will be considered as tax on total income 1,21,500. We have to add the surcharge of 10% if the net income, that is what we have computed, 10,45,000. If it is more than 50 lakh to 1 crore, then we have to charge 10% as surcharge. If the net income exceeds 1 crore, then we have to charge 15% as surcharge. But here the income is only 10,45,000, therefore the surcharge will comes nil. and after that tax and surcharge will comes to rupees 1,21,500, on which we have to charge the health and education cess at 4% on 1,21,500 rupees, multiplied with 4%, that comes to rupees 4,860. Therefore, tax and surcharge, that is 1,21,500, plus the health and education cess at the rate of 4%, that is 4,860, we are going to get the tax liability of 1,26,360. But in the problem they have provided that there is a tax deduction at source for the previous year 2018-19 of rupees 1,50,000. Here the tax liability is 1,26,360, but the TDS have been made for the previous year is 1,50,000. Therefore, we can say it as the refund which payable by the income tax department, which is due of rupees 23,640. And therefore, we can say the interpretation that from the above computation, it is clear that Mr. Mohan will get a tax refund of rupees 23,640 for the assessment year 2019-20. Thank you.